Welcome to the final week 11 of regulation season for the Pokemon Trainer School League. My name is Wired Dragon, joined by my co-host Naolis.
Hello, everybody.
All right, first match of the week, we're going into Sinister Quils versus Woobatman V versus Nikakol. I think two trainers that kind of had a rough start towards the beginning of this league, but towards the end, we've seen some incredible play, incredible matches, and one of these two ended up having a good contention for the top six slot.
Yeah, and we've just seen some evolution because seen some trades happen, some making the teams better, some real maybe not difference in teams on Nicole's part, but just difference in how he leads and how he plays, and it's shown actually pretty good, shown pretty good dividends for him.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at the team that has made some adjustments over the course of its lifespan. Quill's roster got that Iron Moth and that Dragonite being Terra captains this week, and I don't think anyone's surprised.
Yeah, no, I think this Dragonite's proven its worth. Although I think the Scovillain has proven its worth a little bit more, and I'm maybe he'll bring it again. Who knows? It's clearly good. He's got a good record with it.
We did see a lack of Torkoal last week, so we see the willingness to just straight up not bring the Sun team. So, I mean, I guess it's a question of does he bring Sun this week into Nickel or not?
Knowing Nichols' penchant for setting up Sunny Day with that Sunflora, even though he hasn't done it as much recently, do you think maybe V is just waiting for Nickel to set it up for him?
I mean, that could also be the case. I mean, get a free setup for your opponent. You might as well make them do all the work. But let's see what work they can do. We've seen this 10 all season, but we've really only watched 6 of these mods, same Terras.
Yep, that Noivern and that Roaring Moon. Still the Terra captains. I wonder if it's going to be the same Terra types. Steel's not going to be the best into this Sun team coming up here. Has it been Steel the entire time, or did he change it at least once?
I want to say it's still been Steel the entire time, though I'm not convinced it's always clicked the button. So maybe
Yeah.
some hidden information. But both trainers are endgame. Both trainers have lined up, and wait a second, I'm seeing some new Pokemon. Let's start on that top. We got Roaring Moon, Noivern, Muck, Breloom. We got Braviary and Lycanroc midday. Or
Oh my
midday?
goodness.
Dawn? I haven't
Dusk.
I haven't seen this Pokemon enough. Coming from Woobatman Incorporated, bottom of your screen, it's going to be that Iron Moth, Dragonite, Torkoal, Florges, Pincurchin, and Crocodile.
Absolutely phenomenal to see these two new Pokemon from Nicole's side. I am so excited. I don't even necessarily know what they're going to do. We haven't seen them at all. But I was in the team preview. I was looking at this Lycanroc because a rock type, it gets access to close combat. It's relatively fast. Priority rock move. Like this thing looks kind of crazy into V.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sun. Like, we joked about at the beginning of the season where it was always a Sunflora league. He has been changing it up, but that Sunflora is not here to be a part of this team. So, I mean, you think he brought it because he went, wait, I can't set up Sun.
Yeah, it's possible, but we do see the Torkoal did come this week. Well, if it's not drought, what are you maybe expecting from this Torkoal?
I mean, at that point, I don't think a secondary ability really matters. Like, you think about, like, White Smoke or whatever doesn't seem super practical, so maybe just trying to be anti-crit. Nothing that the team wants to, but we are going to set up leads with a Kirchen lead against the Roaring Moon.
Now, I'm maybe expecting the Torkoal lead here, but what can this Pincurchin really do to this Roaring Moon? If it's just going to be able to get set up, then potentially this could be very, very dangerous for V Gamer.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the like counter up strategy is because if we just see him click the spikes and toxic spikes button a few more times, I think I'm interested to see what the revenge button is. I'm actually not quite sure if this Pincurchin gets like a stray fighting move. I guess that's something.
I know it may be that it has Memento.
Dragonite will come in. The second Dragon Dance will go off. So, I mean, on base, you think that this Dragonite is going to be taking a beating. Both of these are Terra Flying coming out. Acrobatics only doing that much damage. Dragon Cloud will not kill from here, but Terra type is revealed.
If the Terra type is Terra Normal on this Dragonite, an Extreme Speed should kill from here. This Roaring Moon does have a very high base stat total, but it shouldn't be that bulky. Not especially after that Dragon Claw did that much damage.
Yeah,
going to switch out for the Braviary.
Extreme Speed will come out. It was that it didn't actually use its Terra typing, maybe revealing that it is not Terra normal. Braviary actually looks in a pretty good position here. You're able to click a lot of buttons here. This is there's if this Crocodile's Intimidate, it's going to proc Defiant. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not really a great switch in for most of these Pokemon. Something doesn't really. Nothing on this team really wants to take a Brave Bird, parting that Pincurchin. Torkoal switching in, going to take a Brave Bird, 30%.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if I got a moment, the Torkoal being so physically defensive, it can switch in pretty safely here. The problem is that it does set up that Sun for the Roaring Moon, which, as this Braviary just used, also does have access to Roost to be able to heal itself up a bit. And it is that flying type now, so it doesn't have to worry about these stealth rocks though.
Yeah, second layer of hazards. Braver going to come out again, doing another 30%. We're going to get the overheat clicking off only 47%.
This Braviary is kind of chunky.
Yeah, hold on. I mean, that's a thick bird.
I think I want to see him switch into the Pincurchin here on another Brave Bird, because keeping this to be set up Sun again down the line potentially could be important. And especially with the overheat on it already, switching to the Iron Moth. Please don't be another. Oh, goes for the Roost. Maybe predicting that he'll go for a healing move again.
You know, I do
Getting a
want
safe switch into one of his offensive powerhouses.
to bring up there are 3 flying types here. So, like, if this Crocodile brought a rock move this week, it's going to be a real threat to the rest of this team. Especially if it's like, I mean, look at the team, right? 3 Pokemon weak to rock, 2 Pokemon weak to ground. It's really only that Breloom that gets us in front of it, okay?
Yeah, and even then, it gets access to something like Gunk Shot, and for even the rock type here, like in Rock Dusk, Earthquake or even Close Combat can do a lot of damage. But the Terrafire Overheat, looking like a baby, like a discount Chi-Yu right here.
I mean, one blast will kill, minus the special attack, though. So, it's like Rock will probably not take too much damage from this next attack, and you got to be expecting the Excel.
Yeah, it's still probably going to hit for a good chunk if he decides to keep it in here. Excel Rock probably killing here with that Tough Claws ability, but the switch into that, the safest switch in is Crocodile, but there's still even options that the Lycanroc can get there. If this is a Choice Scarf Crocodile, it could potentially get the oh god, just cut me off and right in the middle of my sentence. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yo, where has this Pokemon been all season? Absolutely smacking the Iron Moth down. I mean, here comes the Florius in.
If there was any match to bring it to, I think it would have to be this one, though. This one looks crazy good into this team.
All right, well, we got a Florius here, right? I can't imagine a great move, especially if this Pokemon's built physically. Muck is going to switch in as maybe a consolation of that. Moonblast's going to come off only doing 11%, but revealing the leftovers, not even Black Sludge. He's getting the good juice today.
Yeah, we got to find a way to get this Noivern in, because I believe it is the only defogger on this team, and that's if it has defog, because these entry hazards are doing a heck of a lot of work into this in Nickel's team here, especially with those 2 flying types still in the back.
I think the interesting thing here is too, like, while obviously you don't want to switch out, I would argue, that was not a lot of damage to the poison jump. We're getting, whoa, it's red card. We're back.
And it's plus attack.
All right, we're back into the Roaring Moon. But as I was saying, I feel like the switching out is actually not like super great. You're kind of content with staying in on most of these Pokemon coming from Woobatman. So if he plays it that way, it's just switching in and clicking buttons, these hazards might be less of a threat than I would think V was hoping for.
Yeah, but we've seen that he's wanting to switch out into the things that resist what he's in front of. Goes for the flying, goes for the Roost. Does carry the Gunk Shot. That's going to do a pretty good amount of damage, no matter what. Although does it not carry?
Oh my!
2 misses. This makes me think that it's not carrying Crunch, or maybe the game. Oh my goodness!
This Pokemon cannot get a hit in. We're gonna get a Dragon Dance into acrobatics. Down goes the Crook after just, I mean, full whiff. No 100% accurate move used there, unfortunately.
Absolutely not. If it had Stab Crunch, it did about the same amount as Gunk Shot, looking at the calc on the side here. So maybe it's not carrying that Stab Dark type move. But now what does V have to really beat this? You can get some chip off with Extreme Speed, but what do you do after the fact?
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's not really many great options now, right? Like, arguably, you'd want. I'm surprised the Pincursion wasn't the first thing to go in here. It's usually it's physically bulky mon, and it's actually the only mon that has that type
Oh,
of effective damage. Dragonite will go down to the acrobatics, not going for the extreme speed to get some chip off, and all of a sudden we're at a 5v3 lead in favor of Woobatman.
yeah, this Roaring Moon just putting in a lot of work and a lot of pressure. This Florgus maybe being physically defensive is going to be able to get a hit off. Hopefully, we don't see him the tried and true wish turn one to try and do something. But I think that Pincursion had to come in at some point.
Okay, Flores will live. It will be the wish. I think if you're doing this, you have to switch Pincursion in here. I think you just have to try to get it off. It will be protect, but he did too much damage anyway that the wish is not going to heal as much. We're just in a Florgus with less HP than we started.
Yeah, and now it's going to die to the second acrobatics. Now this Pincursion has to come in and go for a discharge, kind of praying for a paralysis, but even then I believe that the +1 Roaring Moon, even with half its speed cut, is going to be faster. I don't think this Torkoal can take a hit either, especially proccing the Photosynthesis. I think this game might be over.
Yeah, maybe revealing that the Pincursion didn't have an electric move or anything. I'm waiting to switch it in to see what's happening. But I mean, Roaring Moon, I mean, iconic Pokemon of this team. Once again, showing us why this Pokemon is so strong. Does live there. We'll see how much damage this does. It did not bring the electric move.
The electric move apparently, and that stab crunch and the Rocky Helmet, that would have been good even still to like switch in and get some damage off for the Dragonite to come in and potentially E-speed it down again.
But can I just say, last game of the season, Woobatman comes and brings two Pokemon that have been sitting on that bench for the entirety of the season, brings a Terra Captain we had not seen before, and that team completely showed up. I mean, incredible play by that team. Unfortunately, a loss here for the Quils, but still a top 6 contention in their near future.
Yeah, depending on how the rest of the matches go go this week, that could shake some stuff up though. It's going to be very exciting to see now that this has shaken up so much. If V won this, it was kind of set in stone. There was only really a switch in what placements in top 6 there are. But now that V's lost this, especially a -5, it's really shaken things up. If some of the matches go, if Riven Helper specifically is able to win pretty strong going forward in this in his match this week, then that could really switch up some stuff.
Well, we're going to have to wait for that matchup later in the week because as of this one is over. Thank you for joining us today. It has been a blast, and we will see you guys in the next one.
See ya.